Page 7. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest, to aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest, to aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest, to aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from vice, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust-free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, a sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha. Homage to the Dharma refuge. Homage to the great Sangha. To all 3, ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, and all aspects. With supreme faith, I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of gods, protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure, white, heaped curd-like cloud, O Losang Dragpa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, low and moon. Venerable Guru, smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit field for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, famed glory outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit. Non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned eight mundane concerns, made life essence-full. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine. May it make Venerable Losang Dragpa's essential teachings specially shine forever. Mig say with Chen Chen Raisi, Dream Kian Pei Wang Po Jam Pa Yang, Du Pu Ma Lu Zhang Zai Sang Wei Dang, Gang Chen Ke Pei Su Gian Song Kappa, Lo Sang Drag Pe Jabla So Wa Deb. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remain steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. As I've heard at one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomena called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Valkiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then at the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior of all Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, how should a child of the lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior of all Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the Great Being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this. Subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it is not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayate, gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior of Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior of Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the hosts of the three places Dakinis. Akasama Rasa Satama Sarani Pay, Akasama Rasa Satama Sarani Pay, Akasama Rasa Satama Sarani Pay, Tayata, Om, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgate, Bodhisoha. Through the power of truth of the exalted three jewels speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four Mars, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, Shanti, Kuriye, Soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, freed from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive in perfect auspiciousness. Bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Ground perfume, anointed flowers strewn, forelands, sun and moon adore. Charpawaptu so idam guru ratna mandala kamiriyatayami Chodan soke chonam la janchu badu dani kyap suchi dagi chonen ke pesonam ke drola penchir sange dropa sho Chodan soke chonam la janchu badu dani kyap suchi dagi chonen pesonam ke drola penchir sange dropa sho Jodan soke chonam la janchu badu dani kyap suchi dagi junenge pesonam ke drola penchir sange dropa sho.
Okay, good evening everyone. How are you? Okay? So? The weather's good. Not too hot, not too cold. Anyway, today we have special translator here. Anyway, it's wonderful. We all come together to study about our mind. Mind? Right? What's mind? How you say?
Clear and knowing, sure.
It's the one that doesn't know is not mind. Clear and knowing is mind. Also cognition. Cognition. Anyway, then we Buddhism believe the mind is very, very important. Also, mind is also real, complete, clear, like white color pant, like her pant or gent pant. You got no really white, like completely white. You can put all different colors. Like sky. Sky is blue, but sky also what is that? Who covers sky? Clouds. Clouds complete, black. We don't see. But nature of the sky is blue. They never mix. The flowers, the lotus flower, come from very dirty place, on the mud. But nature is flower. They never mix. But our mind also clear, but they always cover or the dirt or the ignorance. Are you watching the movie here? What kind of watch you guys movie? We like to very violent movies. I don't know. Usually all the monks like to, if they watch, they like to watch a lot of violence. They know they are not real. If they're real, they don't watch, but they know they are not real. It's more fun. They don't want to listen very long story, talking, just boom, boom. Anyway, there's a mind is that when over here, I want this, I'm happy, I'm sad, I want to do that, like that kind. Who gives the idea? It's mind. So I want to go, I want to sleep, I want to eat, I want to do that, or I don't want that, or I don't like that. This is mind. Therefore, mind is big boss. Therefore, Buddha says, subdue your mind is teaching the Buddha. The subdued image translate. Translation. Translate. Transform. Okay? Therefore, our body is no mind, mind is no body. We are no mind, mind is no us. They're two different. But we follow our mind follows the delusions. Therefore, we are the servant, slaves,
Same meaning.
right? Slaves is right. Therefore, we are the slaves. Our mind is slaves for the ignorant. Ignorance is the big boss. He don't want to walk. He just said, do that, go there, don't do that. Therefore, in order to transform our mind, cultivate our, positive mind, we need to study what kind of mind we call bad, what kind of mind we call good, what kind of mind we follow, what kind of mind we cannot follow. Understand? Do you have to call Tamshu? Okay? This is very important. Usually we say, I'm working for benefit for all beings. We say that we're not working everyone. We just be working ourselves. Sometimes say, I don't do any bad things. I have not any negative karma. Yes, you have a lot of problems. This shows you have a lot of negative karma. We don't want to look in some different way. Because problems result of negative karma. Therefore, we already create a lot of negative karmas. We are not arguing. There are no place to argue. Just directly. If your problems kind, they shows you have negative karma. To create the negative karmas, you don't need to go put a bomb some such place. You don't need to hold in the big gun. Right? Just think our mind. Create our mind. Right? Your mind think, oh, this is bad. Then you say, yeah, this is bad. It looks really bad. Because you don't see any good quality. You only see the faults. Your mind thinks it's good. Look at oh, it's good. Because you cover all the different mind. You open the mind, only see the good qualities. Right? Therefore, mind is very powerful. He makes everything. He the way he created. He's really God. He that created all the problems. Therefore, we studied about minds. It's not easy, but we try. Dharmakirti. Yeah, Dharmakirti. Right? You guys know Dharmakirti? Who is Dharmakirti? He's the Indian master. He that composed the old valid cognition. Valid cognition? He's the valid, what's that? Oh. Valid cognition. No, valid cognition. Valid cognition, okay. That's, no, valid, why cognition? No, valid. Okay? He composed the root text. Then there are also a lot of different commentaries. It's not easy. Even the monks study every year. It's not easy to understand. We just study a couple of weeks, once a week. It's not easy. That just, even we study that, put inference. Okay? You know, when you put now again and again, you be reborn again, human being. If Buddha's teaching is not complete, destroyed, you will able to meet the, Dharma teacher, the place to exist the Dharma, then able to study, able to more understand. It's not easy. He said 3 eons. 3 eons? Takes 3 eons, enlightenment. It's been forward, not just a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Therefore, anyway, the point is always total study is very important. If you study one thing, you are free from one ignorant. Slowly. Like you guys very high education person. You not learn one day. Just slowly, right? That's study very important. But also doing the study also very need meditation, practice, okay? Otherwise, study. We don't meditation, we don't practice. It doesn't work. Try to put into practice every day, daily life. Try to open person. Try to open mind. Okay? Every day. I always say, don't look far away, okay? I want to help for other side of the world. You just lie. You cannot help yourself. Around you cannot take it. No, we. I'm include, okay? We cannot help our community, ourselves. I'm going to help other side of the world. It's just lie. It's just say a nice word. Right? His Holiness always say, first you need to study yourself as peaceful person, open person, relaxed person. Then you teach your neighbors, your friends. Like that, go far. Maybe bring the peace world. If you say, I'm ready for that, you just live here. You're all enemies here. You're angry there, you be nice there. It doesn't work. Okay? Therefore, always say things, send things, write things. Always connection with us. Be careful. Try to not hurt others' mind. This is practice, okay? What kind of hurt yourself? No one intentionally hurt, but how you use the word, how you say, how you show the actions, they hurt others. They were taught to not like that. Be nice. This is really practice, okay? Try to change how much you can. Then do little meditation. So many different meditations, okay? Just every day, couple minutes. It's really helpful. The Westerns, when they get mad, they go walk. I'm going to walk children far away. I'm going to walk the trees. Because this is also one method, because you go to walk the trees. You don't see all the enemies. You just heard the birds sound. Also, you have to walk very carefully. Your other mind, transform. It is also a method. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not best. Best is subdued, control, be open person. not carry all things your own shoulder. Correct? You take all things your shoulder, then you become really hurt. Then you didn't sleep. Move, 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 move. Okay? Like that, then maybe we'll go Tamshu. Otherwise, over here? Say hi, Tamshu.
Hello.
Yeah. He wants to say hi, he's sick. You know, he got hurt. Tomorrow he has surgery. You guys see him? Well, you guys not doesn't see him. Say, how are you?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear.
You feeling better today?
Oh, yes. I'm running on my feet now.
You are, huh?
Can you hear us, Damsho?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You're good.
Oh, good. All right, Geshe, you can start.
Okay. Oh, you cannot see?
Too much, too difficult question.
Oh, the
Really not good.
internet doesn't work?
Yeah.
다 전화번호 간제 대화도 중요해서 해야 돼. 가지고 또 말해서 무분에서 시다 마시와 뛰고 온 경우 그랬어. 아니 대화다 중요해서 해야 돼. 또 무분에서 시다 마시고 온 경우 그랬어.
So, as you know, the sufferings and happiness that comes from knowing or not knowing the reality.
그래서 maybe this is better. Yeah, no, give it. Do you guys heard?
Can you repeat Damshala?
Oh, so the happiness and the suffering that we experience comes from knowing or not knowing the reality.
Okay? Do you guys hear? No? No. You can just put down there, Sean. Just put down there.
I'm trying to find it.
It's work? 달라다.
아, 뭐든.
하다.
그래서 뭐든.
나도 거기서 말고.
You guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
But we're sitting on top of it, yeah. Okay.
어?
I can't, you can't really hear me from the microphone. There's nothing.
You hear me now?
Yeah, it doesn't go to the microphone.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, Damsho, try again.
Yes. Is that better?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
No? You can push this a little down.
Try again.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Keep trying.
Yes. Can you hear me?
That's a little better.
1, 2, 3. Testing.
We don't need the, we don't have, we're not using, just need the audio, that's all. Damsho, try.
And the Google Hangout maybe?
Keep speaking.
All right. Happiness, suffering, the reality. All things exist. 보이는데? 네, 고기 드세요. 나 고기 줘.
Try that.
Can you hear me, Sean?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just the mic.
Yeah, it's the microphone. Can somebody get the remote control for this, for the TV?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Where is it? I'll run out and get it.
I don't know where it is.
Want me to check the
Maybe here, yeah. Jen can see you. Yeah, that's the place. No?
should be a coax.
Yeah, we don't see this side. Good. Okay.
Victory.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Good job.
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
Hello?
Perfect.
Okay. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 근데 이제 나도 아니 다른 부분에서 심하셔야 되는 거라서 대화도 좀 해보려고 근데 이제 다른 부분에서 때 시도 많이 써야 되는 거라서 진짜 다 시바라고 그래서 봐.
So, like I said, experiencing happiness and suffering comes from knowing or not knowing the reality. So, knowing or not knowing reality, that depends on the consciousness.
근데 네 거대 안에 지금 생각 거대 안에 산지 좀 된데 그다 놓이는 거 소용하지. 안 대건 저와라 빠디 치라가 안에 löwen 쇼라 어디서 다 마보 소용이었어 봐.
And about this, Buddha taught in his sutra, and then commented by the Dhammakirti, and then by Dignaga and so forth.
근데 세나세에 대해 나서 이분에서는 탐바 안 탐바 텔라 물어봐 대시바들하다 테마 다 납조 그래서 와.
So the valid cognition is referring to the mind that knows things just as they are, the things that accords with the reality.
근데 저도 단단히 깝대 딱 너무 돈 거예요. 그래다 고만보다가 레요 그래서 다들 노리고 말했어.
So for example, like with your eye consciousness, you can see that cup as blue, and it is blue, so there's no mistaking.
근데 다 네가 왜 덴바트마르게 시행고 말했어. 덴바트마르 시행에 고 시다 가가래서 와.
So in this context, we're talking about the reality in a sense of not existing or existing truly. So when we talk about that, that's different topic again.
그래서 말아서 이제라야 무소소소 포코 봉어리 코포리 코젠데 뭐 뭐래 카카 힘이 왔어. 다 대나무에서 시세라고 그래서.
And so the mind, in our consciousness or in our continuum, that understands this is this, that is that, she is Jen, he is Bob, and so forth, and is the valid mind.
와. 다 들리고 보면 되라. 다 들리고 누구든 내서 말아봤지. 말아봐 맞아. 토마싱이야. 사디싱들 참아들라 말이야.
And so that kind of mind which is infallible and which is new, meaning knowing for the first time, is called a valid cognizer.
와. 근데다 먼저 테마 세들라 시다 타베 전에 시바 테마, 제어 테마, 류 테마서 숨샤 그래서.
So talking about the valid, there's three things they talk about: the valid cognition, and valid person, and cause of lusema,
류 테마,
lungsema, valid transmission.
와. 근데다 시바 테마 세대다 먼저 시바 가서 시대 테마 라데 데리서 와.
So the valid cognition is the valid cognition that we're talking about here in the context of the awareness and knower.
다들 경험성이 메토드도 깔란다 말아봐 저도 카카 시행도 왔더라 시바 테마 말이야.
So like you see the flower and you see all the different colors of the flower, and you see and you know the different colors of the flower. That is a valid cognition.
오케이. 제어 테마 세대 산지 좀 내는 제어 테마 말이야.
And then the valid person is referring to a Buddha.
너 산지 좀 된데 제어 테마 비지서 가르스나 콩고 강 송샤바도 말아봐래. 내가 콩고 송들라 류세 말아봐래.
And the person, the Buddha is called a valid person because what he says is correct. And the correct thing that he said is the correct or valid transmission.
너 내가 남들 레그니 베나라 산지 좀 된데 제어 테마 받으려 그러더라.
And so therefore it is explained in the second chapter of the compendium of valid cognition, and where it explains about Buddha being a valid person.
그래서 믿어와나 믿이 덴바르도 데모마다 믿이 깨살다 그러와. 믿이 깨세다 산지 룽소로 자고 그러와서.
And so when we talk about somebody, whether that person is honest or not, depends on what he has spoken, right? So depending on whether he speaks true or not, then we say that person is honest and good person and so forth.
어때리자 아니 사지 중인데 제어체 말이야. 가나 공부 강 소화데 데마레 생각들라 말이야.
And therefore, Buddha Shakyamuni, is a valid person, and whatever he spoke or taught, is true.
오케이? 어디지? 들리다 다 되는 거 아니 시바체마 제어체마다 륜체마니란 체마데 파샤라면 체망문이 등하고 나고 말이야. 체망문이데 땅도 시바체마데레스.
So, the valid person and valid transmission, is just referring to the person and the transmission as a true. But when we talk about the valid consciousness, then it's referring to the valid cognizer.
맞지. 가서 아주 다 담으로 시바나 안에 로라 체마다 체미지 로니 등하고 나이 맞지. 근데 체마세다 두는 거예요. 가서 아주 닝나 뭐뭐 랍사이 맞지.
And so at the beginning when we talked about the consciousness, like we said, it's divided into two, the valid cognizers and non-valid cognizers. So we, are talking about the valid cognizers now.
그러와. 그러다 단 체미지 로사에 단 체마 마인드 시바 시작이요. 그러와.
And then the non-valid cognizer, is a mind or consciousness that is not a valid cognizer.
뭐야? 어디지? 들리다 딩은 생이 다 되는 거도 딩이라 가서 뭐 보셔. 당도 생지 드린 생지로 인스트도 쇼랑 배자된 하고 나가와요.
So we talked about the valid cognizer roughly already, and now we're going to start talking about the non-valid cognizer.
아니 디바 시에 심을라자. 아니 시에다 단다고 자동데 아니 전담마가 시가 주바레스. 이나 엄마 단지를 나타나서 가셔 그래서.
So again, talking about the valid cognizer and non-valid cognizer, according to the four different schools of thought, or the four different tenets, it is common, with all the tenets except the Prasangika Madhyamika. So when we talk about valid cognizer in Prasangika Madhyamika, it's different.
아니 엄마 단지 왜 안그라는 연락 몰라봐 이나 더 참아면 잡으서 되နေတာ아니 제시도 저 자동 테말라 그러더라고 지간에 테마이나 싸도록 말했어.
So according to the Prasangika Madhyamika school, if it is infallible, to its infallible in accordance to its object, then it is valid cognizer. So in that case, subsequent cognizer will be also a valid cognizer according to Madhyamika school.
오케이. 다들 당하고들이 재미지로 난 재미로 싸도 말라봐 마인베레 반 재미지로 재미있어 왔어.
And so when I'm talking about the non-valid cognizer in page 32, it says with respect to the second, the explanation of non-valid consciousness, there are two parts, definition and division. And it says definition is a knower that is not newly incontrovertible. And so that is the definition of non-valid cognizer.
오케이. 가서 먼저 시달 로리 딩이 왔어. 로리 딩 저도 하고 그도 했어.
So last time we talked about seven awarenesses, right? Seven awarenesses and knowers.
Okay. Who will give me the voluntary say? Anyone? You have to look that book. You have to. I want to. Who remember 5, 6, 7? All 7. You have to. 7 valid cognizers. Luridin.
Karza?
Luridin.
Luridin na punta kalaidu.
Kondo na ramaso. Jo luridin machi labdo kondo. Luridin lagdilate. Okay. Jen, you have 7.
7 valid cognizers.
It's called 7 valid cognition maro. Aro. Kondo. Karero.
7 knowers and Karza.
Luridin. Okay. Jen, you got it?
7 awarenesses and knowers.
Okay.
The direct perceiver,
Okay.
the inferential cognizer, the subsequent cognizer, correctly assuming consciousness, awarenesses which are object appears but is not ascertained, doubting consciousness, and wrong consciousness?
Correct? How about you?
Did you say valid consciousness?
Doubting and then wrong.
Doubting.
6 was doubting.
Oh, doubting, yes, yes.
당부도 잘해서.
Wrong consciousness, right? The last one is wrong consciousness.
Wrong consciousness.
그런 거예요. 오케이? 대단한 놀이 돼. 대단한 처럼 되어 있어. 심한 놀이처럼 되면 돼요. 그래서.
Those 7 are called 7 knowers and awarenesses.
아니 대단한 옛도별로 숨, 맛도별로 응아. 그리고 시작을 왔어. 동보서 맛도별로 신이 맛도로 있는.
So among those 7, the 3 are the one that perceives its object, and the other 4 do not cognize its object.
그래서 얘들 tema 제바tema 제시 쓴데 아니 옛도로 시마도 맛도별로 그래서.
And therefore, the first 3, the direct valid cognizer, inferential valid cognizer, and subsequent valid cognizer, and a subsequent cognizer, not subsequent valid cognizer, but subsequent cognizer. So 3 are the mind that cognizes the objects.
오케이. 또 딱 저도 다 고와 말하나 곧 상가하고 나야 슈퍼한 것으로 봐.
So even if you don't understand the meanings, but if you at least know the number, counting, like these 3 and those 4 like that, if you just know the counting, that will help you.
오케이. 그래서 사드 머리버리버 재밌더니라고 왔어.
So,
사드
new incontrovertible knower, is the definition of the valid cognizer, right?
다내 사드 머리버 마이머리 봤어.
But here, this is the opposite. This is a knower that is not newly incontrovertible.
You got it? The different, right? 그래서 다 대라이나 아니 제시지 예치지 나라마가 대좀 로시다 나샤도 왔어.
And so when it's divided, the division of the non-valid cognizer, or non-valid consciousness, there are 5, right? Subsequent cognizer, correctly assuming consciousness, awareness to which an object appears but is not ascertained, and doubting consciousness, and wrong consciousness.
오케이. 다 동서 아니 사드 머리버 마이머리 봐래. 사드 머리버 말해서 봐.
And so these are a knower that is not newly incontrovertible. So they are not newly controvertible.
오케이. 다도 맞아. 다도 온도 다 도수도별이 봐 제시가 되니 담보 제시해 봐. 도수도별이 봐 제시가 되니.
And then the first one, which is the subsequent cognizer, it says with respect to the first, the definition of subsequent cognizer is a knower that realizes what has already been realized.
다 사드 머리버 말해봐서나 계속 갈라갔어.
So is it not a new incontrovertible knower?
Yes, no. 제시가 이게 또 그래 왔어. 내또
The
손또
subsequent
그래
cognizer
왔어.
cognizes this object, right?
그래서 이게 또 그래 왔어.
So it does cognize this object, right?
아니 얘가 물어봐라 왔어.
And it is incontrovertible, right?
아니 저봐라 왔어.
And it's a knower, right?
다 그래서 한번 좀 재밌으니.
What is it missing to be a valid cognizer?
Huh? Not new. Are you sure? Huh?
Because it's conceptual.
Sure.
Correct.
아니
Because it's conceptual, it's non-valid. Is that the right idea? Because it has conceptuality.
This is the 말이죠.
아
똑바 인상 가서 제만 말했어.
대만 no, this is completely wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 제법 또 말해 왔어. 제법 또 말했어.
So when we talk about the direct and direct and indirect, or conceptual and non-conceptual, so that doesn't define the validity of, the valid cognizer. So for example, like when we talk about the valid cognizer, the inferential cognizer is a valid cognizer also, and it's also conceptual.
Okay? You understand? 너가 제법 테마라고 얘기하거든. 제법 테마.
So it's a concept and an inferential cognizer. So that's also a valid cognizer, but it's not, non-conceptual.
Okay? Understand?
A little bit. Being honest, a little bit.
Yeah. Really, 먼저 tema 다 무슨이야? 내가 tema 제보 tema 예토벨로가 내가 tema 제보 tema 안 제시 예토벨 로시지. 당분이도 tema래. 아니 순간도 tema 말했어.
So yeah, so those are the three cognizers, like the valid cognizer, a direct valid cognizer, inferential cognizer, inferential valid cognizer, and the subsequent cognizer. Those three are consciousness or cognizer that cognizes their objects.
내가 당분이나 tema라 그랬어.
And the first two of them are the valid cognizers.
Okay? somebody 제시를 대참아 많이 라 그랬어.
And the third one is the subsequent cognizer, and it's not a valid cognizer.
다 먼저 뒤물어 지와 책이다. 나 지와 대책이다 쓰러.
So now we have to analyze on that.
근데 이제 다 제시를 예토는데 와 도수도 베레 바라는데 와.
So the subsequent cognizer cognizes the object, right?
근데 이제 다른 쪽으로 되게 좀 다른 단계다 들어와. 근데 아니 제시를 또 이제 제시 공부 써도 또 와서. 제시 공부 써도 또 와서.
So what is when we say the subsequent cognizer is not a valid cognizer, the only thing that's missing is being a new, right? Because in the definition it says cognizes what has already been cognized. Cognizes what has already been cognized. And so it is saying that the only thing that's missing is new. So now Geshe wants to debate with you guys, saying so that so the subsequent cognizer is a valid cognizer. The object it cognizes is new.
제시 이 맞는 제시 요 말아 왔어. 제시 티가 그런 것도 이제 토마토 와라 왔어.
So when the subsequent cognizer did not cognize its object, it wasn't there. But when it cognized for the first time. Therefore, it is a new also, right?
배서잖아. 대리쳐서 단계 담보들 가진 거는 지나 담보 내버려. 대가는 몇 셈발레는 말에 대가서 주도에 말아. 몇 셈발레나. 서로 다 대리 도말 내버려 왔어. 대리. 가디 니나 깜바샤와나 군바나 담보 내버려 왔어. 소소?
So for example, today you came to the Gompa, right? Today into the Gompa. When you stepped into the Gompa, into the temple, that's for the first time, right? So yeah, of course you came before, you've been here before, but for today, it's the first time, right?
대리자 다 제시고 거기 가디 또나 그런 토마토 와라. 띵을 구토에 말아 왔어.
So just like that, whenever the subsequent cognizer cognizes its object, it's cognizing for the first time. It hasn't cognized that before, right?
Yes, not. What do you think? Okay, now I'm going to first I have to explain, then yeah.
I'll go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that it's new because everything changes. Everything has an impermanent,
Therefore,
an impermanent quality and is empty. Every time you touch something or look at something, it's new.
television to 어려웠어. television 또 어려웠어.
So therefore, it is new, right?
I would say yes, it's new.
Tele-
On those grounds.
tele 제시 처마 되었다.
And therefore, you will say the subsequent cognizer is a valid cognizer, right?
Okay, I'm not really confused. Okay. Otherwise, you guys get headache. 대가도 따서 좀 따르바 따요. 따르바 쓰면 다 오르더라.
So you can debate in that way, and just analyze in many different ways, like that.
다 도서 좀 해봐 세대 나가서 시방 랑그 딱 지치고 시방하면 시방 마녀들이나 그런 거 또 발라 그래. 시방하면 시방 냐마냐 세대 얘도 담보 또 왔다 그 내려서 무슨 맞게 또 와. 대지에나 얘는 또 쓰게 잘했어. 아니 내려서 무슨 맞게 맞으나 아니 시방하면 시방 냠사 와래서. 하고 그래. 안 그래서.
And this,
pena nazo shiba namiga shiba nyamanya sayendo wa pena metodo pena kabdo towa ina kabdo towa to ande kabdo sama cheto na ko nima ji toksawe de nima tobi niba ko hade res kabdo to de kabdo na ko ya sheto na ani shiba namiga niba nyamsare ne ko chama chado res 가지 그 누마 값도 더 가지 값도 제차나 값도 더내 값이 고삼 더 말아. 대해서 시방하면 니바 냠사고 고삼 더 그래서. 근데 다들 많이 맞지. 값 누마 또 가지 대리 값도 해도 아, 대리만 그냥 더 값 들여서 치워나. 고치 차대. 그 누미 시방이 되게 니바 하대 그래서.
제발 종합서더라.
제가 대다 시방하면 니바도 냠 요면서 돼. 값에서 아니 롱 나가 통하던데 값에서 롱 그 째트나. 아니 그 제시 차대 그래서. 대 마찬가지 롱 누만 통해 가지 얘는 누만 통그 제차 가지 통하던데 값에서 시바 째면 더 저러. 아니 대 고다 tema 차게 그래서. 야무나 미시긴데 값에서 고라트 거래. 야무나 고라 전선 서는 값이 하고 그러마도 그 통하던데 값에서 시바 째도 말해서. 대다 대 tema 차로 그랬더니 대 가디 값도나 값도 올려도 tema 차로 그래서. 대들이 라마가지 값 통하도 어디 값을 이거만 통신이 밀로 찍으러 와. 다 대체시 차대 그래서. 그놈만 또 말해봤어.
When we talk about new or not, I mean, we said that everything is changing. So moment by moment. So what you are seeing now is a new because that did not come up before. That was not there before. So what you're seeing for the first time is new. So and it makes sense that way also. But here, when we talk about a valid cognizer, a self-cognizer, so the valid cognizer has to be new. Like if the activity of the mind, if the activity of that previous mind has not degenerated, and you see while it's not degenerated, and you get into that activity again, then that mind becomes old. So while that activity of the previous mind have already degenerated or declined, and then you generate a new mind to engage in that activity, then that's called a valid mind, a valid cognizer. So for example, like if you see a cup, so you see a cup, and then the moment you see it, you say, oh yeah, this is a cup, I know it. You haven't forgotten it. You know it, you haven't forgotten it. And so that becomes a subsequent cognizer. But then you have you see the cup and you have forgotten about it and say, oh, this is a cup. You're seeing for the you don't remember before, and you're seeing for the first time. Then that becomes a new. Then it's the valid cognizer.
Do you see difference?
Make sense?
Right? 또 손 또 받아. 또 somebody 안쪽 또 받으려고 그러고 왔어. 다음에 또 somebody 제사나 아니 그 또도 차고 싸웠다고 차고 그랬어.
So this source is knowing what is already known. And so if you have known before and you have forgotten it, then you're knowing it for the first time again.
Okay? Do you guys see me a little older than before you meet me? Or just same? Always like same? No? You didn't see much different, right? Because we see all the time. Therefore, we don't see different. Now you guys didn't see me, maybe 1 year. Then you say, oh, Geshe is getting old. Or maybe he's getting fat, or maybe thin, right? That time, you see me different. This is a, that's so much of it, right?
So you see a difference from what you saw before, then it becomes a valid cognizer.
또 어디라고 말해? 말이 그거는 기존에 하고 이러라. 근데 저런 것마다 다른 저런 저왔다 가도도 가셔도도 와서.
What is?
저는 좀 지야 저한테 저 말말 나는 기시랑 신경이나 저는 신경도 그냥 저런 게 눈에 기시를 되는 딱 기시를 다니잖아. 아니 저 강한 동의도 하자. 아니 그럼 니마도 냠살 가지 싸도 또 말했어.
So even if you know Geshe, but if you see him different from what you saw before, then the activity of that mind which saw before has already degenerated. And now the activity of the mind that sees Geshe now is a new mind. And so therefore that becomes a valid cognizer.
가 상질을 가져다 싸도 또 상질을 제제요 말씀. 가지도나 그 싸잖아 또 그랬어.
And so for Buddha, every time he sees is a valid cognizer. It's a new.
가르치는 데 있으나.
He doesn't have a subsequent cognizer. Everything is valid cognizer for him.
Then we say, why? He said, why? 나중에 보잖아 끼치끼치 지르고 사실 끼치끼치 지르고 하고 그래서 와.
So that's because, like we mentioned earlier, we talked about earlier about the impermanence of the thing. So every moment is changing. The Buddha sees that change every moment. So what he sees in the second moment, at that time is a new. He sees the new one.
나중 때 지르고 나중 지르고 통고 말이야.
It does degenerate. It does disintegrate, right? Moment by moment. But we don't see that.
그래봐. 그냥 나중 놓고 질라 나와 중요해로 와서. 나와 중요라 나와를 니마 숨쳐로 와서. 니마 숨져라 아니 니마를 주주 주서시로 와서. 다 주주 찔러야 아니 까쳐 두치. 까쳐 이렇게 두두 파파파나 그 따가로 찡찡이 들던 노예로 왔어. 들리다 얘나 나중 대하 거기다 얘나 나중 통과해 말이더라. 나중 지를 해 노를 해. 얘나 나중 오늘 때 이제 노를 나중 통과 말했어.
So we only see the gross change. Like we know, when it's been a year, we see that, right? We see the change in a year. And then in a year there are 12 months. Maybe we see the change in the 12 months in each month. And each month there are 30 days, and then each day there are 24 hours, and each hour has 60 minutes, and each minute has 60 seconds. And then each second, again, you split that into a 60th second, like that. So that is a very subtle change. So the change that we see in 1 60th split second is very subtle. We cannot see that change.
Can you see? After 60 seconds, then the 1 second. 1 second, how many I can have to count? They have something to count, right? Even science, they can count, they do that, but we didn't really say impermanent. But Buddhism says it's impermanent. Like we are not evolved. Late 30s, 40s. We are not come to one day. We just year, month, day, then hour, the second like that. We become like this country. But we really not recognize. Therefore, Teresa, 다 만두 사도 가로. 근데 또 마찬가지다. 사도 용도 말해서 와.
And so for us, it's not a new, incontrovertible knower. It becomes a knower which has known, which is knowing what has already been known.
만두 만에 샹선 파파소가 되어 있어요.
So let alone ourselves, even the Arya Bodhisattvas have that.
와. 오케이. 다 됐지. 다 되려야 라링에서 나중에 kartos ta chishi ta jundu chishi hakoso.
Now do you understand the subsequent cognizer?
Ta dangi tuya jam judo kala sare. Dangi ngam tuya jam telam jam judo kala sare.
So earlier when we debated about the subsequent cognizer being a new, what did you say?
Chishi de kona yemato na kotre mare. Kote sa to wala judo te ne karjata.
So it says, before it recognized its object, it was not there. Then it came into existence after it recognized its object, right?
pechaana chānsu chūla tāna di kāptu thōgu tu wāsi. Kāptu māntu nā kāptu thōgu wō chānsu chūla yō mārēsi. Chūla tī hā kōsara bē.
So for example, right now you see the cup, right? Before that, you did not have the mind that sees the cup.
Rwa. Chānsu bē nā ngēn chūwa nā yā. Ngēn chūwa nā tāpa mārā kāri chānsu sī chūla ngī chānsu ngī chūwa thōgu yō mārā wāsi. Chūla kāri chānsu hā kōgu tu wāsi.
So right now, if I ask you how many strings are there on my mala,
You can see
can you see that?
how many streams? Like this kind. Difference, how many? Thōgu yō mārā. You don't see. Okay? Now when you see, since when you see, the mind exists. right? Yet Kadin to the Yetalateni, yet to Shibaki, yet Matu Shiba Yomaros.
So whenever you see the object, you generate the mind that sees the object. So before seeing the object, there wasn't that mind which sees the object,
Okay?
which sees that object.
Do you got it? Okay, what Sean's hand? Do you guys see? No, right? Then the Chana to Sean Laba Karayo to below the Omares.
So you don't see what Sean has in his hand. Therefore, you don't have a mind that sees what what Sean has in his hand.
Not can do that. Takulaba Karakas. Ku phone some to us. Chana to Ku phone you and Toada, phone to Kyores.
So now you see he's holding a phone in his hand, right? So the moment you see the phone in his hand, then you generate the mind that sees the phone in his hand.
Correct? You sure 100%? Okay? That Jeshi, Kuru, you Matu, Jeshi, Yomaras, Tutu, Maras, Jeshi, the Tamil Kuru, Karawas.
So just like that, the subsequent cognizer wasn't there before it cognized this object, right? It's a different mind from the value cognizer.
Okay, another example. Okay, I'm going to eat apple. I bite. 네 소치 좀 일단 네 사로 샤들 was. 네 사로 샤들나?
Leftover.
Leftover, right? 다 왜 저는 leftover만 저한테 삽 채워 사요 was. 지금한테 사요 말 was.
So I ate the apple. I had a bite of apple, and then it becomes leftover, right? So I give you. Are you eating the leftover, or are you eating for the first time? So for you, it is not a leftover, right? You're eating for the first time.
Okay? It's a little bit easy to understand. 다 되게 말해. 제시 그런 생각하면 또 뭔가 제시 그런 또 담으러 왔어.
So just like that, the subsequent cognizer is not, it's a new because what it's seeing is new for it.
Do you understand there's some contradict?
Yes, but can we go back to your cup for a minute?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, this is good answer.
I've never seen your cup before.
Okay.
Okay, so I see it for the first time, so that's a valid cognition.
Yeah.
Okay. I go home, I come back
Yeah.
tomorrow, and I see your cup again. I don't see why that's a valid cognition. Why isn't that subsequent?
가로 subsequent 가로.
Geshe.
마마 드리치랑에 감 통하러 왔어. 자, 드린 통에 딱자 드린 파는 삼이천하쇼 기준도도 기실라 감 거쳐. 자, 수직하고 막 장례식을 해서. 드리다 가서 시방하면 또 막아 니발 하대요. 대체시 자들에서. 다 저는 제사가 기실라 감 간에 한번 이거 누대로 왔어. 따뜻고 생각하죠. 그 좋아하고요 말아 왔어.
And so, for example, like you now, right? You saw the cup, Geshe-la's cup, and then you come back tomorrow, and then you go and see somebody says, "Oh, get Geshe-la's cup." You say, "Oh yes, I know, that's Geshe-la's cup." You still remember. Your memory of that cup has not degenerated.
Right.
See, that's the activity of the mind, has not degenerated, and so you grab it right away and then bring it. So that's the subsequent cognizer. But then you forgot about it, and then you go, and then you forgot about it, and then you couldn't find it. You don't know which one it is. And then somebody comes and tells you, "Oh, this is the one," and then you are seeing it for the first time again. Now that becomes a valid cognizer.
Okay?
So the first case is invalid.
인valid 가로.
The first you see is the valid cognizer.
They're both valid, what you just said.
No.
No, first term is always valid.
No.
It's free of conceptualization.
Right?
The first time you see,
No, I meant, my question was, what the scenario you described first in those two scenarios you just said. So, she sees the cup on the second day, and she remembered that is a cup. And
It's
that's
not only
Geshe-la's
cup, yeah.
And so, that is an invalid subsequent cognizer.
Yes.
yes,
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Why?
Because it's not new.
Why not?
Because because there's still the remnant or the vestige of a realization.
그러.
나를 하마도 나는 또 그게 하마죠라.
아.
대머리 단단하야.
제발한테 니바들 하대. 니바들 냐마. 제발
하다 라스티스.
모두 제만은 시바 많이 말아 보면서 나도 대용 까도 막 당나도 랍대 맞아.
그래. So you have to see, now you have to remember that, right? So what did you use Maury?
I use the word remnant or vestige.
Remnant, right? Remnant is like kind of a mind that's still there, right? Which is not degenerated.
Right.
Yeah, so that remnant, yeah, so if it's still there, and then you cognize it, then it becomes subsequent cognizer.
대라 마토나 가상 또 데리토로도 가서 딜로도 요말 딜로도 싸웠지 말아 왔어. 가상 깔때 음식 사러 왔어. 요말 왔어. 그잖아. 아니 제시 샤도 말했어.
That's the only way you can prove the subsequent cognizer. Otherwise, subsequent cognizer are not a valid cognizer and not new. Only through that. Otherwise, you saw the cup yesterday, and then you're seeing it today again. So what you're seeing today is new because it wasn't there. That cup wasn't there yesterday, so today is new. So that in that case, that becomes a valid cognizer. But even though it's new, it wasn't there yesterday, but you still remember the memory of that cup is still there.
Okay.
From yesterday, therefore it becomes a subsequent cognizer.
Invalid.
Invalid.
Yeah.
Subsequent cognizer is a non-valid cognizer, yes.
Okay. 너는 나도 냠으잖아. 가상 값때 되는 지사래 되는 게 심한 가서 요 말아 왔어. 대 냠으지는 요 말아 왔어.
So, what you saw yesterday is already gone, right? What you saw yesterday is already gone. It's already disintegrated. And what you are seeing today wasn't there yesterday. So therefore it becomes a new.
내가도 남배 주고 말하나 나도 저도 고할랜 통도 왔지. 남배 주는 라고 많이 받나 저도 고할랜 통도 왔어.
So that one is, it makes sense even in a worldly sense, right? Worldly sense, like, even if it's not explained in Buddhism, you can still understand that.
Right? It's everyone accept that. It's yesterday's
cup is no longer existing today.
Right. But if we're carrying around a memory trace
Yeah.
of it, then that becomes a subsequent cognition, and that is invalid.
Yes.
The same cup again. We have to see the same cup again.
만화. like example, the cup 지가 열어. cup 지가 열어. the cup 주주도 차에 맞아. 그 지가 열어 왔어. cup 님만 차 열어
So
왔어.
the cup can disintegrate, right?
It is a
It can
glass.
change. In other words, it can change, right?
Change? You could have, no, I'm not talking about broken. But I couldn't say it was,
It can become old.
일단 지금 하나도 가슴이 맞으면 그 저와 도결 was.
So, disintegrate means changing, right? Changing and becoming old.
얘나 딱값 세다가도 딱 차이 맞다고 자는 거 was. 그나 메토드나 가사 쇼게 메토드 데리고 메토드 싸우는다고 말다. 땡아서 오늘 딱 가서 냠냠아 걔네 또 그랬어.
So, in terms of the flower, it withers pretty fast, so you can see the difference. So from yesterday's fresh flower, when you look at today, you see it has withered a little bit. And you see the difference.
Right? Easy we can see. But now for us, do we think we are same person, yesterday's person? We just believe Buddhism, or we really know. Or Buddhism said they're not same. We have to follow. I'm not allowed to talk about that. It's a reality.
So it has changed from the reality, right?
This is not Buddhism view, okay? It's a reality, right? Today, the Kazakh kapto thing meet Maratiri car was.
So the cup that you're seeing today is different from yesterday's cup, right? You're seeing a new cup today. So therefore, it is a new, right? It's recognizing newly.
Yes?
If we recognize that it is different from yesterday.
But you're not recognizing yesterday different. You think you're same, right?
So that's why it's invalid.
But it is not same, right?
It's not the same.
But you think the
I
same.
think it's the same.
Well, you're wrong.
The reality is not same. Therefore, that's the same, right?
But he said think real, don't think Buddhist, so
Yeah, I'm not talking about Buddhism, okay?
we're not talking about Buddhist.
Yeah.
It's today's cup,
Today's
which came
cup.
from yesterday.
Yeah.
That came yesterday's cup.
Number man, I'm going to tell you kind of level was.
Yesterday's cup doesn't exist.
Yesterday cup is already, how to say,
Already gone.
already gone.
That's what I'm saying. Yesterday's cup doesn't exist.
Therefore, today's cup is new.
Right.
Therefore, their mind is very, what's that? Direct, how to say, someone was there.
Value cognizer.
Well, it's cognizant.
Yeah. Right?
Yes.
And she marvelous.
So it's not in subsequent cognizer then?
If you still have it in your mind stream, it has to be.
Only,
If it's new,
only if you still have a memory trace,
Yeah, if you have a memory trace, then it has to be subsequent,
and then it's invalid.
and invalid, right?
What if you have the memory trace, but you consciously recognize it that it's different today than it was yesterday, then that's new.
그래서
내가 그런 게다 가서 샤방하마기 제바도 요바지, 제바이 윤도 요바지. 왜냐 전화가 되는데 유바침마다 통화이나 이렇게 가르쳐 그랬어.
대도어디 시방하면 지마 말했어. 지마 또는 그 세마 차로 말했어.
유로 통화 샤바샤라.
시마 차 세마 차로 말했어.
So that if you see the change, then it becomes the value cognizer.
좀 말하고 동의를 봤어. 다 가도 또 수도 그랬나 너무 생각하면 또 서면 되게 니바 냠매 와서 아니 너무 또 양조 또 말했고 그래 봤어. 니마
So
또
when you talk about the subsequent cognizer, it is a knower that cognizes what's been already cognized. And in the sense, like, what you have cognized, that cognition has not degenerated yet.
오케이 따뜻한 나도 따뜻한 거다. 따뜻한 때 가로 요로 사회에서 고깔이 가오에서 와.
So, you can debate in that way. So if you debate, then of course there comes a lot of problems, a lot of complications.
근데 이거 자와서 니만 가디나 뚜자도 봐. 뚜자라고 그래서 와.
So that's how they get a point, to debate on, the monks in the monastery.
Yes.
So, Geshe-la, in terms of the numbers, 1 through 7. So, number 3 is the subsequent cognizer. And so you said that numbers 1 and 2 are valid and number 3 is not valid.
Yes.
So, is that always the case?
대 어디 가는 가로. 걸라.
딱 버리시 된다고 했어. 딱
가디나
버리시 된다고 했어.
딱 봐도 당분이 반이도 테마
네?
말.
그래.
근데 뭐 다른 데가들 가디마나 테마다 제본이 테마를 제제도 가디나 고 가로 제제해서.
Yes, it's always the case.
It's good. Okay, talk easy. Okay. 다 저도 제제를 그 하고서 제제해야 돼.
So now you roughly know what is subsequent cognizer, right?
그래와 사드 마인 바지 간지 얘들 뭐라고 그래. 얘도 또 그래.
So it has to cognize the object, it has to be incontrovertible or infallible, and it has to be, and it should not be new.
그래와 다 대라 이와 아니 또바 제제다 또메 제제 아니 미시 제제 강아요 다 차상에 대 omoganga 가상 엄마자 왔지만 다 강아 레레 작은 메스로와
And then it says that with respect to the first definition, and then it says when subsequent cognizers are divided, there are 3. So same like that before. Directly perceiving subsequent cognizer, conceptual subsequent cognizer, and subsequent cognizer that are neither of those two. It's similar to other ones.
근데 시바 차상에 그래서와
So that refers to all the objects, all the consciousnesses.
그래와 다나 차수 삼다 차수 jelaya 소소소기 나기 잘라도 차는 또 물로 열었어. 또 그거 제일 잘돼 그랬어.
So right now you have all the you have a mind knowing all your objects in your home. So all those are subsequent cognizers.
다 들어 나는 무지 잘라 사바샤나 아니 너무 왜 맞추다 하고 완전 시커선스 라그래. 대체 말이었어.
And so you don't, if somebody brought a new thing in your home and you did not see that before, and then you say, oh, you see that, and then you say, oh, who brought it here? And that is a valid cognizer. That's a new.
Now you have everyone have car, right? You go back. Someone give you car. Whose car? What is our car? really? This is the Tema Chakra, what is
So that is a valid cognizer.
okay? That the one she the Yishi the Kangan Jai, Chala Kichiniba, Kichi Tamu Temaris, Kichiniba Chaza, and Chichijanja, Sanji.
So so you can apply that to all the sense consciousnesses and mental consciousnesses. So first moment of that consciousness, that cognition, first moment is a valid cognizer, and then after the second moment is all subsequent cognizer.
아니 근지 이시 끼치니바 사토지 마마 마트로스까지 산지 이시 끼치니바 아니 사토레스 안 제시요 말했을 말했어.
But to the wisdom of the Buddha, there is no subsequent cognizer because every moment is new. He sees every change in every moment, so every moment is new for him. So therefore, every moment of that cognition is a valid cognizer.
Okay? Now you guys understand? Love very strong, very tight. Someone say, really you guys not give up? Yes.
So, but for the Buddha, what about the cognition of something which is permanent, because that doesn't change?
그럼 아무도 야그 체질할 때는 야 인주도 그러더라. 그 지적할 때는 지금 뭐다 체질할 때는 야그 만들어 차로 들어 그러더라. 군지요 말했어. 얘나 체질할 때는 야그 만들어 차로 그러더라.
So it doesn't change by depending on cause and condition, but by depending on its path, it changes.
나도 인지라고 말했다. 인지스러워.
So it's not disintegrating.
인바 옛날 양 간나고 빼차서는 말아서 범바이로 와서 뱀배등을 따봐도 뱀배등을 또 많이 대체다 따버렸나 범바 차서는 또 많이 매서 버렸어.
For example, the emptiness of a vase. Emptiness of a vase is a permanent. But if the vase is broken, then the emptiness of vase is also gone.
인바나 다들 지원은 지원하려고 말했어. 코나 때에서 범바도 때 매워서나 코나 때 걸었다. 걸어 때자들 걸어다. 때 매서 버렸어.
So then we say that the permanent emptiness of the vase is disintegrated. No, we don't say that's disintegrated. It doesn't disintegrate because it's a permanent, but because its base is changed, the base of that emptiness, the base of that emptiness, the base is changed, is changed. Therefore, that emptiness is changed also.
Okay? It's conscious. Yes.
So the Buddha sees the emptiness of the vase in one moment, but in the next moment, the vase is still there. It sees the emptiness again, but it seems like a subsequent cognition.
가서 지시를 말 뒤그 돈이도 싸버렸어. number 돈이 샤사고 bomba 코란 직사와다 뒤 돈이 어떠면 요 말스.
So yeah, it's the same, So you don't say that permanent, that emptiness is disintegrated, but it has changed because the moment of the base has changed. The first moment is gone, and so the emptiness of that first moment of the vase is also gone. So now this emptiness is the emptiness of the second moment of the vase, and so Buddha see that change, and so it becomes new for him.
Okay. Yes. Do you got the answer? Yes.
So is it true to say that the Buddha does not see permanence?
글쎄.
Buddha does not see what?
Permanence. He only sees impermanence.
No.
Buddha sees permanent.
Buddha sees everything. Buddha sees everything. 사지에 따바 도래 못따바 도래 최선 도에서 가가.
Buddha sees everything as they are. And Buddha sees permanent as permanent, impermanent as impermanent,
아니,
selfless as selfless.
들어가가 미다고도 사절에 들어와. 사절이 내리라 따발하거든, 내리라 못 따발하거든, 내리라 다라거든, 내리라 다멜하거든, 미땅이 사절에 들어와.
So it's the Buddha, who gave the name. So to such and such thing. This is called permanent. This is called impermanent. This is called selfless. This is called self. So Buddha knows everything.
No.
I understood until that point.
No. 사제라는 것도 알아나 English word. 사제 means we have two words, okay? 사제. 사 means 누가 차선을 사와레스. 제는 시야가 루르 지마레 시야 마시면 찌우고 말이다 말이야.
So sang actually means to clean or cleansed. So this is cleaning or have cleansed all the delusions and all the obstructions. And ge means have perfected. So there isn't anything that Buddha has not perfected. So he's perfected means like he knows everything.
Okay?
There isn't anything that he doesn't know.
사제 우부 차단 나도 라피티나야 짜샤가 나지 동요를 들어와.
So, so just like you see a fruit, or like an example, an orange on your hand, Buddha sees everything just like you see orange in your hand.
들어와. 어떤 데서 사제가 맛도 가지다 맛이 가지 찌요 말다 됐는데.
So therefore, there isn't anything that Buddha does not, know or does not cognize.
근데 사제가 하고 말이야. 사제 하고 한지 몸에서는 따다 임바인데 사제를 찌어서 말이야. 그 소원은 이제 따다 렌도서 나오고 그래서.
So Buddha knows, and Buddha knows the things just as they are, and therefore he is a valid person.
들어와. That's it. A little bit. No, really? It's okay. Takes time.
I'll have to think about it.
No. It's yeah. Example, Buddha said this is impermanent, this is a sovereign, open. 당분간 가도 자랑 창으로 하고 맞다. 뭐 당분간도 라바도 올라서면 당고 그래서.
So first we don't understand the subtle ones. First we just have to concentrate or pay attention to the gross ones.
어떻게 가래 가면서 참으서 받고 아니도 그래서.
And then slowly we can move towards the subtle ones.
Yes.
So I guess what I was trying to say when I said that Buddha does not see permanence is because everything he sees it changing. So he never sees any of those things when it's in its permanent state, if it is permanent. He knows the difference between permanence and impermanence, but since everything is always changing and he knows everything is changing and he sees it that way, does that mean that he
Permanence
does
is
not see it?
non-existent. Permanence doesn't exist.
Exactly, so that's what I'm
You cannot
just,
see it because
it doesn't exist, and that's.
아니 그 따봐도 못하고 가가 신기했어.
What you're saying? You said that permanent doesn't exist?
왜?
yeah, I did.
Permanent exists. Permanent exists. 사람이 다 뭐라고 해야 돼? 딱보다 메타버스 해줘라.
가가 신기했어.
다 메타버스 해줄 때 누가 너 만두 개발시켜라.
야.
다 상계 좀 되게 다 정말 좋아도 상계 좀 되게 상계 정말 좋아도 챙겨라. 따바이 마라 그런데 차시를 때는 좋아도 챙겨라. 메타바이 마라 그런데 유견을 때는 좋아도 챙겨라. 진짜 좋아 만들어도 잘 챙겨 말았어. 찾아 걸 좋아도 이거서 그 상계 캠버도 좋아도 좋아 동네지 인자 좋아 만들어도 상계 챙겨 말았어. 그래서 좋아 만들어도 좋아 말았어 왔다가.
That's a good point.
요아 만들지 매번 인자 딱 딱번 내버렸어. 딱 요아 만들고 딱번 요아 메타버스는 딱 딱번 내버렸어. 가서는 요아 만들지 내버렸어.
That's good
요아
point.
만들어도 상이 맞을 버렸어. 그래서 딱 요아 만들고 내버렸어. 딱 요아 만들고 딱번 잡아서 딱번 내버렸어.
That's good point. I think I have to give up. It's a good point, yeah.
So if you're saying, the difference of the permanent and impermanent, is that which changes is the impermanent, that does not change is permanent. And since Buddha does not see not changing at all, so what Buddha sees is everything that Buddha sees is changing, And there isn't anything that Buddha said that's not changing. And since we're applying, to the not changing as permanent, so therefore the permanent does not exist because there isn't anything that does not change, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you apply in that way, then you can say yes, that permanent does not exist.
This good.
Another question, it's off the subject, but it's.
Yeah.
When,
First I can say this, okay. 장수 제성도 빼서 떠는 거는 게 말이시더라.
That's the very clever way of thinking.
Yeah.
Whoever said that?
You guys very 로사노도 빼게 말이시더라.
It's a very dangerous thought.
Not dangerous.
Who got that idea?
It's Jen and Ray. Jen said and Ray spoke.
I didn't think about it, I just said.
But this dangerous is not dangerous like mara. Go.
Oh,
Dangerous is not you got mara.
Ardi.
Dangerous is not ku niga thor mara.
Ada nyanga sumber.
Samata yabor soro kaji samno members. Ribat sores.
It's a very smart thought.
Yeah.
Very smart. Is that Jen?
Maybe you don't say dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
No, to be honest, this is dangerous. Then you become, how you say, develop Buddha's ideas. Today, about the two Jisam Tawina, Tara race. And Nadu, Tabata Mota, Jenna didn't jing magician, Tabata Mata.
So if you think in that way, of course you can say permanent doesn't exist. But now, in general, when we talk about permanent, the permanent is a thing that does not disintegrate by dependent cause and condition. And there are such things. Well, therefore, in that case, when you explain in that way, that permanent exists.
Okay? 그래서 따바도 좀 단단하지 매도를 범했던 거 따바 범바 차로도 뛰던 돈이 매도를 이나야 그 제다 깨는데 그 마서 말해서 코로나 때서 차시되면 그 마서 말해서.
So, like I said, the emptiness of vase is permanent. But if the vase is broken, and there's no longer a vase, there will be no more emptiness of that vase because the base of vase is not there.
And because the emptiness of the vase was dependent upon
Yeah.
Upon a
being
base.
intact. But if the vase is broken or if the vase changes, then the emptiness of the vase then is now impermanent.
Yes, the basis on which the emptiness was existing,
Conditioned, because it's conditioned on
the basis on which emptiness was existing is no longer there.
먼저
That emptiness is no longer there. Doesn't mean that the emptiness is disintegrated by depending on cause and condition.
주담이가도 떼내려고 왔다가 따바에 못따바 가장 떼는 줄 했어. 진짜 떼는 줄 했어.
So it's a dependent rising. It's not dependent on cause and condition, but it's a dependent rising. Like for example, permanent and impermanent is also dependent rising. And there's no permanent without impermanence. There's no permanence without impermanence. There's no impermanence without permanence.
Okay? It's a little bit change your thoughts. You can see different.
No, well, I was just trying to understand why we would say the Buddha is valid. He's always valid in his perception. So I was trying to understand that. So with what I was saying earlier, it was in an effort to understand that. But I do understand that there is that in order to have impermanence, you have to have permanence.
Yes.
That's correct. 그래서 사진으로 참아서도 가지 사진 강한 라바데 따따 왜 되는 것도 참아 라바레스.
So the reason why we say Buddha is a valid person is because of his speech. So because whatever he says is correct, therefore he's a valid person.
무슨 덴바르서 지마로 가서 뭐 담보
It's just like saying that person is honest.
대도 지마로 와서.
He only tells the truth, therefore he's honest.
된다 사진 강하고도 덴바르서 오늘에 가나 다가로 다 말해버렸어. 저마다 말해버려 와서 말해버려 덴바르서 가서 라바로 와서.
So what Buddha said, says is true, therefore it's infallible.
Okay? I think we're good. I was calling.
That's my phone.
Okay.
Time's up.
Any other
That
questions?
association is calling me.
Yes.
I had a question about substance cognizers and primary mind. It seems to me, most of the time, I'm going on memory. In other words, if I walk into a room that I know, my primary mind is what I'm going on. It might take a minute to say, oh, that is moved. In other words, I'm not always making a direct perception about things. You know what I'm saying? It might take me a minute to see that something's changed. So is it true that, or could it be true that a lot of people, a lot of the time, operate on subsequent cognition? In other words, this is the way my mind is always at a place of a memory instead of direct perception. You know what I mean?
가서.
네, 다 다른 저기 템바디 유명 계절하다. 앞에는 롱가마데 마냥바제 디 템바디 요바이나 다 테스트 또 제시 책이라. 고드.
good. 아니?
나도 로디 마냥바제 되네 로 템바디 마냥바제 되네 다들 제마 이제 동도에 저 어디 다 알았더니 또 제시 찾아라. 나 가서 조슈도 통화하다 조슈도 가서 나 데이터 조슈 디 능력만 하시면 무슨 지금 동도에 다 거기 다 싸워 책을 왔어.
어디서 싸웠죠? 다들 그 뭐든 잘 살았어요.
So yeah, when you see the things and then you say, oh yeah, that's the same as what I saw yesterday. You still have the memory of that thing, and then then you're seeing that thing again. So it becomes the subsequent cognizer. But then you see the change. Oh, that has changed. Oh, it's like that now. It wasn't like that before. Now it's like that. And then you're seeing that for the first time, and that becomes a valid cognizer.
내가 니샤시고 도와서 눈만 유비 잡도에 아니 제시 지당 지원도에 제도에 세만이 오시고 도와서.
또 저지거나, 요지거나 용서, 되게 용서 말아.
맞아, 다가오 되게 찍더라고 말아.
네.
간제.
So if you see one thing, and you still remember that, then it becomes the subsequent cognizer. But then you see the change. You saw the similar thing, but you see the changes. Oh, it wasn't like this. Now it becomes like that. And then you're seeing for the first time, and it becomes a valid cognizer. That makes sense?
Well, I think my question was more like, it seems to me that personally I'm driven more by subsequent cognition. In other words, I'm going through the world, sort of expecting what I will see instead of just experiencing it as it is at the moment. So when something is out of place, it seems more often than not, then direct perception will come in, direct valid perception. So basically, what I'm saying is I'm walking around delusional, with an invalid cognition all the time. Basically, already
다 그래서 마저 그런 통화에 제시를 했었어. 그런 마저 그런 통화잖아. 다 이제 그런 거라도 얼마나 심하나? 얼마나 심하다. 그 통화를 통화를 내가 나를 지금 대마지어라. 내가 통화를 전화해. 다 통화. 나 뒤져서 그러다 제시를 했어. 제시에서 딱 그런 게 다 세미글로 책을 왔어. 세만 많이 글로 책을 왔어.
그래 대처만 밀어치래.
세만 물어서 딱 세만 많이 물어서 내가 띵무불로 뭐라 걔는 또 되고 왔어.
띵무로 나고 말해. 그러니까 세만 말해. 쌉도 말해. 나 이제 이또 오러 예뻐 오러와세.
그래.
내가 또 띵무로는 나야 말아. 저도 잡아 띵무를 해야 돼.
So yeah, of course, in general, we're always carrying this ignorant mind, dull, ignorant mind all the time, most of the time. But in this case, we're not talking about that when we talk about the valid and non-valid mind. So non-valid mind doesn't mean it's an ignorant mind. So the subsequent cognizer can be a direct perception also. So what you see and what you're seeing again, what you saw before and you're seeing again with your eye, that's the subsequent cognizer. So there's the subsequent cognizer, there's the eye there's the eye sense consciousness. And then there's the subsequent cognizer, there's like, the ear sense consciousness. So those are not, in a sense, it's not like almost not non-valid. The only reason why it is non-valid is because it is not new.
Okay?
You understand?
All right, yeah, I feel better, thank you.
Don't be ignorant all the time, okay? Not just you, we all ignorant all the time. Okay, I think we stop now. Then you will say thank you for Tamchula. Also here tomorrow morning surgery, operation. Then we all send for him to everyone's best pray.
Thank you everybody, and good night.
Okay?
Thank you, Damsula, so
No, sir.
much.
Yeah.
Everything go very well.
Good night.
Thank you.
Take care. We pray for you.
Thank you. Good night.
That's all. Okay. Nice.
Okay, page 39. Sashi Puki Chushin Me Tog Tramri Ramlin Chi Ni De Gyan Badi Sangye Shindu Mite Yuwa Kidro Kunam Dak Jin La Jo Ba Shok Jesun Lame Kuze Rabden Jinam Kadrin Le Jojo Ge Padam Lo Santen Be Trome Sasum Kidro Wemunsa Tao Dunye Gyushi Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. From my two collections, vast as space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings, with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion, in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddhist deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children, may all human and non-human beings with eliminated adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and May Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chen Rezi remain in life till samsara's end. Page 49. Short, long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Page 57, prayers of dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. And page 75, next Sema. Migne sewe te chan chan rezi, dreaming can pei wang po jam pa yang, gong chen ke pei su kien song ka pa, lo sang drag pe jab la so adev. Thank you, Geshe. What? Oh. Yes.
Just really quickly, I just want to remind folks that Ling Rinpoche is visiting next week, starting on the 31st. There's lots of volunteer opportunities, and we're going to start to organize a sign-up genius like we did for Sakadawa and for the 25th anniversary party, so that you can see what the opportunities are and how many people are needed and what's expected. So stay tuned. In addition to preparations leading up to his visit, there'll be needs during the visit and then afterward also. So stay tuned.